Welcome everybody back to Norstead Point. We have Matt playing our Bruce Fantana, Eddie playing Dr. Victor Mutare, and Savannah playing Buttercup Lee. We will go ahead and start off with a little bit of recap. Last game began with the party exiting the Anne with a petrified Meridia and seeing the great avian soaring towards you all. Realizing a need to get Meridia to the ice quickly, Bruce and Buttercup leapt off of Norstead Point, using Step of the Wind to cover huge amounts of distance into the water. Following Bruce's example, Victor applies a levitative substance to Meridia's statue and applies his own jumping ability, coasting down from the peak using Meridia's weightlessness. Thanks to a clever combination of your abilities, you all safely made it within the ice in only 12 seconds, avoiding the great avian altogether. Once you returned to the flooded cave, the group decided to depetrify Meridia, cleanly breaking her arms off for good measure. She did note your cruelty, but also noted your efforts to seem nice after. She cast doubt on the story of Mawakawali because of Alumea's barrier excluding her, which the Timeless Daughters each dismissed. And she finally confirmed that reproduction between man and merfolk is likely possible but untested, and that she suspected a common ancestor. Outside, a massive pitch-black dome had emerged on the surface of the water. As Bruce Fantana swims up to the dome to investigate it, Buttercup goes inside to inform Dr. Victor, and the two rush to accompany Bruce out. Meanwhile, Bruce ventures within the dome to discover that the sky looked like night, and a series of unusual black obelisks hovered in the center, the icy isle nowhere to be seen. Bruce touches the structure and finds himself in an unusual place, surrounded by endless sea. The black stone of the obelisk turned to a vibrant crystal. In the distance of this place, Bruce sees a lone structure. Touching the crystal again, he finds himself returned to the Black Dome in Norstead Point and informs the others of what he saw. The three touch the obelisks and find themselves in this strange place you find yourselves in now, the strange black structure in the distance. To Bruce, it is a dark lighthouse. To Buttercup, it appears as a tower. To Victor, it is a tall, dark windmill, and it looms in the horizon.
And what's up with the girls? Do we just leave them back there with the witch?
Yeah, we did.
Should we go check on them? Maybe make her go to sleep?
Probably.
Turn her to stone and then come back?
I say we do.
Yeah.
Because we all just deuces on everything.
Okay, so you guys have seen what's over here going on in this plane.
Yes.
We will be coming back, but we have to put somebody to sleep.
Okay, so you return to the flooded cave. Upon entry, you find within this cave that several walls of ice have sort of been erected.
Great.
And you see Wyola and Ashta laying on the floor near the ice.
Oh no.
Claudia is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, well that's good. Can we go check on them?
Yeah.
Yep, sure.
Yeah, let's go check on the girls.
So you guys approach the girls. Looking at them, they each seem to be breathing steadily.
They sleep.
Am I able
They
to...
do not...
Sorry, am I able to wake them up?
Yeah, sure. So you shake them, and it's kind of difficult. It takes like a good shake, like a rigorous shake, to sort of draw them out of this deep sleep that they're in. But each of them sort of comes to.
Hi. What happened?
No. What? What happened? Ashta sort of sits up. And then Wyola, sort of looking around, says, Meridia, she... And Ashta sort of like nods, and they're like, oh shit. And the two of them sort of glance around, and Ashta says, the pearl, where is it?
Buttercup looks over towards Ashta and Wyola, and she's like, don't worry about the orb. I have it in a safe place that nobody knows about.
What safe place was that? I'm pretty sure you left it with these two in the cave.
No, I went and put it in a I think it was like two sessions ago that I put Buttercup went back to the so that's underwater one, the other cave, and I went down. Buttercup quickly went down all the things to put it in a place that only she knew.
Okay, fair enough. So in that case, the two girls are like, what a relief. Okay. Like, wonderful. Yeah. All is not lost then.
Buttercup looks at the ice, and like her face goes from her normal jovial, happy, friendly with everybody else, and like the amber of her eyes just darken, and her face goes blank, and she's absolutely furious. And immediately walks up to one of the ice walls to see if she's able to touch it and what happened.
Yeah, that's kind of what Victor's trying to do.
Yeah, you can touch it. It is ice. You do not pass through it.
So it's Meridia's plane.
You are familiar with this type of ice before. This is just a barrier that you do not have access to. Make me an insight check, everybody.
Sorry, I was doing stream stuff.
Okay. Okay.
16.
Okay, so Buttercup, you're the only one to sort of notice this. But you do note that both of these merfolk, or these timeless daughters, were unharmed, and they seemed almost sort of like intentionally propped against this like door here.
She was letting us know that she could have killed them both. She's trying to earn our trust.
Easily, but it makes me kind of nervous because what exactly is she doing in there with Claudia?
She's definitely trying to summon something, obviously. I think maybe we need to summon something ourselves. You know what that is?
Buttercup goes up to the ice and tries something that hasn't really been that they hadn't thought of, like the meridian, everything like that with the ice that went around. She goes up to the ice and knocks on it to see if she can get somebody's attention.
That's a good idea.
There's no response.
Then she calls out to see if Meridia would hear this. Meridia, it's Buttercup. Are you okay? Still face blank and everything.
Roll me a persuasion check.
That's better than I thought it was, because I think like I have an 11. I don't know.
A silhouette approaches the ice, but says nothing.
Buttercup, looks at the silhouette, and once again she's like, "Are you okay? Can you hear me?"
The figure nods.
Is Claudia okay? Because she was included in our deal.
The figure nods.
Buttercup sighs, and, for now, she's like, "Okay. I'm guessing, did you do this for your protection?"
The figure nods.
Okay. Buttercup, nods her head too, and, a lot of tension went out of her shoulders. And she asks Meridia, "Do you have everything that you need in there, or do you need, like, food?" Trying to get her to actually talk.
Do you have everything that you need, and do you need food?
Yeah.
If you answer yes to one, it's like answering no to the other.
Well, it still falls under a need, like the need category. So
she
either
nods
way,
yes.
Buttercup nods and turns to look at the Endless Daughters. So far from what I can gather, she put it up to protect herself. And not going to fault her for that, and she looks at Victor very pointedly.
Hey,
And just quirks a
Meridia.
brow.
Meridia, I got a question for you.
She may be unable to speak.
He doesn't care. Hey, Lady Meridia, if I ask you a question, will you answer it?
She nods.
It's hype. Okay, just checking. No, I'm just joking. Hey, Lady Meridia, have you ever been in love before?
Buttercup just puts her face in her hand. She's like,
Mm,
"Oh my god."
She nods.
Yeah, me too. That pretty fish lady over there, not that one, the other pretty fish lady. They're both pretty, but obviously Ashta, she's a little bit
Ashta's
prettier.
taken aback.
Sorry, Viola. We both know it's true. I'm just saying what everyone already knows. I'm sorry, Viola. Don't take it personally. But hey, Meridia.
She looks pissed. It's not very nice.
Meridia.
Okay.
You could have killed them. And I don't love that slightly less attractive fish lady, but she's a good friend of mine. She saved my life once. I know we were kind of hard on you back there. We were scared. We were worried. We want to protect the things that we care about. Because Bruce Fantana is in love.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. Where
Oh wait.
Deserve it. Roll me a persuasion check, Bruce.
That's gotta be a 0, I'm sure. Seven. I'm using my inspiration. This matters to me. Okay.
11. Okay. She says nothing in response, but you get the sense that she's listening.
Can I roll an inside check on her silhouette to see if she's like really taken, like thrilled that Bruce Fantana's in love, like happy for me, or if she's like kind of judging me because I'm not a fish person.
Roll an insight check.
I was kidding.
Let's
I was
see.
totally kidding. How could I gather that from a shadow? I was joking.
I don't know. I was gonna see how adept it was.
If you roll a high enough insight check, you can discern a lot from a shadow, buddy.
It's fine.
All right. All right.
Just goofing.
Is there anything else you guys want to say?
Thank you.
Not really. Buttercup turns around and she looks at Viola and Astra, and are you both okay? Do you have everything you need?
And they sort of like check themselves, and Ashta says, I am unharmed. And Viola as well says, I'm not hurt either. I've no doubt she could have hurt us if she wished to. Or enchanted us.
That's why you were sleeping. Buttercup just like starts muttering to herself and kind of walks over to Bruce and has Victor follow. And she's like, "What do we want to do with the girls? They seem safe right now, and Meridia is just protecting herself."
Should we give her the orb?
No,
Absolutely not.
I'm not bringing that up.
I don't know.
Viola says, I didn't even hear her sing. It was so sudden.
Do you know what would cause that? Like, that's not fish people magic.
Fish people magic.
It could just be that she's swift. I know not. She is a far more capable sorceress than I.
Okay. Do you guys think we should go back to that place? That light tower out in the water?
Perhaps for now. The Viola and Ashta seem not in danger, so
Yeah. Do we...
They don't super want to stay here.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
we could go to the other cave.
Yeah. Do we have the impression that it would be a plane, if they went to the other cave, that it would be a plane that Meridia wouldn't be able to travel in, or would we just be guessing?
As far as you guys know, you can just slide out of this ice if you want to. Like, basically anytime you want.
Right, but do we think Meridia could slide into our other ice stuff?
Y'all could set up a
A new one.
You could set up a new one. However, you all know that she has figured out a way to enchant through ice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what would be the point of finding another cave at this point, because she's
it would
already in our
physically-
portion?
It would physically stop her.
Guys?
I mean, I thought we were moving in. I mentioned just moving her to the other cave. That was my suggestion.
What are we gonna do about that person that's in there? What if she's operating on that human being?
She was part of the deal that we made with her to no harm comes to anyone in this cave.
Harm
We'll
is a
see if she
subjective
holds up
term.
that end of the day. And I understand that, but right now she's in ice and we can't get through.
We could trade the
Maybe
orb
we
for
can
the...
move these two deeper into this cave. So they're a little bit away from everything. Would that be acceptable to you both?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, of course. We should move the. They should be more safe in the other cave, away from Meridia.
Buttercup walks up to the ice again, and she's like, "All right, Meridia, we are trusting you, but we are moving the girls just in case. I hope you understand."
She nods.
And can I roll insight to see if she's like giving off any weird anythings?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll me insight. Let me see. No, sitting here taking the time to like study her shadow, go ahead and roll me an insight. Just a flat insight.
There you
This
go.
isn't like a rushed check. Okay. Here's what you gather. You can't necessarily see her, but her silhouette standing behind this barrier does not appear to be like particularly aggressive. In fact, it's just quietly standing there listening. And as far as you can tell, she can audibly hear you. And you guys are like right here beside
Yeah,
her.
we're right up on the glass. Or ice, Jesus.
So
Sorry.
so your situation is essentially that you guys came back, found Claudia was gone, this ice is up. Meridia is saying she is doing this for her own like defense.
Hmm.
And she has nodded when you guys say like, hey, we're moving the girls, hope you're cool with that.
Okay, so she understands. And the agreement still stands because nothing of that was mentioned.
She does not appear to have harmed the girls.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's basically
let's-
like a summary of your situation.
Yeah. And so Buttercup looks to Victor and Bruce and the girls. Where would you most feel comfortable? And let's do that.
Okay. Yeah, let's get them situated and head out to the water, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I've been assuming that during your long rest, you guys are just like touching base back with everybody, and it's not just like you haven't seen them in days.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been
Does
making...
that sound fair to
Oh,
everybody?
Yeah.
Which
Of course.
Okay.
we're the pillars of morale.
Okay. So you guys are going to bring the two girls in here, which is going to draw a lot of onlookers, who really haven't had that much time to really get a good look at either of these ladies. They're all going to kind of be crowded around the corner, not really trying to be rude, but very curious,
Could Bruce roll an insight check to see if anyone's like actually checking her out?
Yes, dude.
Who the fuck is it? I want to know now. Who is it? 21?
21?
Is it Jocelyn? I bet it's fucking Jocelyn.
You know what, Victor? It's everybody, because she is attractive and people are gonna look.
Bruce at this moment contains his jealousy, but we'll see what happens later.
Okay.
The day is young.
Okay.
Others may feel his wrath.
You guys can see that Ashta and Wyola can tell that they are like objects of curiosity. And it is a little unsettling because they haven't had that much interaction with like your kind aside from you three, really.
Yeah.
Are y'all wanting to set them up here somewhere?
Yeah, they need the water around here, honestly. Like, I mean, the floor down, I guess, has a big pool where we killed the giant lizard thing.
What if we...
It's not easy to get to.
Yeah.
Why don't we just put them with the orb so if they need to like do some crazy magic shit, they can just use it?
Is the orb on like the third floor? Where did we even put the orb?
Yeah, I think it's infinite.
Yeah,
in the bottom.
It is, and there's no water there.
Is it in the temple area?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I can pull up the map. Oh, hot damn, I completely forgot about this.
Yeah, we can just
Okay.
toss them there.
Fitting in bucket, floor 5.
But before we leave... Oh, that's fine.
You're wanting to bring them all the way down here?
Maybe.
I mean, we'll have to
water.
carry
This
them.
is 5 floors
Yeah.
underground. I mean, it's
there any
it's
water?
physically secure. The 4th floor has water, yeah.
Okay.
It's very far underground. They're probably not going outside anytime soon if you guys are doing this, unless you're physically carrying them up there.
We do that.
So they're...
But we also need to make sure they have water or they'll die.
Okay, so you guys are putting them on this floor.
Yeah. So they're not with the people who are kind of weirded out by them, and if something happens to the people and they get taken over, they're not gonna hurt the girls. they're by the orb. They can use the orb if they need to do some crazy magic shit and make it super strong. And they've got some water, so I think it's win.
Okay. So they are basically cooped up on this floor, way the fuck underground. And are you guys giving them the orb?
Yes, I think so, right, guys?
No, Buttercup is leaving it hidden because she doesn't want anybody to know where it is, just in case.
Okay. And it's hidden down on the 5th floor.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we don't tell them where it is and something happens and they need it, they won't have access to it. And if somebody can scry and figure out where it is somehow,
That's true.
then they're gonna go through the girls to get there.
Also, there is nothing stopping Meridia from waltzing in here. You guys don't know what her intentions are, but you have no form of security yet.
Yeah.
Last time, the two girls used the orb to cast basically the ice spell and like secure the whole area. But they don't have the orb this time.
All right, so Buttercup lets Bruce and Victor know where it's located. So if something happens to Buttercup, they know where it is, and they can give that knowledge to whomever they feel is okay.
Okay. Bruce tells the girls so they can protect themselves.
Okay. Okay. So the girls know where the orb is. They're going to create an ice barrier and mark all you humans as safe.
Cool.
And just put that like on the door, right?
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. They're securing a bubble.
Okay.
So consider this area physically secure.
Okay. Then I guess we're gonna go out to the water, right? Move things along.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
gonna go back to the place of weirdness.
Okay. So go back to the obelisk. You touch it, it becomes crystal. You wisp off to this version and approach the building. So, as you all approach this building, you find it to be very mundane in appearance, aside from its architectural differences, which you're not necessarily aware of. Approaching the front and opening the pair of doors, aside from which there is no other, adornment or anything looking particularly nice. It's a very plain structure. You find within a long tunnel. A long forward tunnel.
Buttercup looks between the two of them. You don't want to head in?
Yeah. But Bruce is gonna knock on the door first as he walks inside. Hello.
You knock on the door and it it knocks like wood. But you guys are going to note that this tunnel is architecturally impossible. It goes as far as you can see. And it's
Buttercup
dimly lit.
pulls her bow and just has her bow in her hand.
Okay. Everyone proceeds down the tunnel together?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna search around the doorway first and see if there's anything that stands out to me.
The wood of this doorway is old and grainy. It looks particularly worn. It looks like this door has been here for a very long time. In fact, this building by design seems very plain and very old. The black brick which it's constructed from is weathered and cracked. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Can I check out that puddle on the ground?
Yeah. You check out the puddle. It appears to be seawater. Salty.
Bruce licks it.
It tastes salty.
Hey guys, it's salty. And then I guess I go look down the hall.
And Buttercup slowly turns around and looks at him and looks at the fact that they are still dripping from having been in the in a sea. And she's like, "Nah, really?"
No, really, it's pretty salty. I don't recommend licking it.
Buttercup sighs.
Yeah, Buttercup, you actually swam around this building, so
Yes,
you
I did.
know that it doesn't make sense for this tunnel to extend this way.
Yep, that's why she's holding her bow. You guys ready to progress forward?
Let's do it.
Absolutely. So yeah,
Okay.
just into the crazy tunnel.
Okay. You all proceed down the tunnel. And as you do so, each of you has a sudden spike in awareness, as if you'd been staring into space for a long while and suddenly snap to attention. You have a vague sensation that you must have been walking for a while, and you suddenly find yourself in a completely different location, far from the tunnel with none of the others in sight. You aren't sure how long you must have been walking, but you're nowhere near that tunnel. Buttercup, you find yourself in a familiar location. A peaceful cliffside with a lush jungle beside you and a distant cave. Not terribly distant. There's a cave right there. What can you tell us about this place?
This is she knows a replica of the place that she used to find solace in. After every traveling expedition she went on, she would always come back here, and there was no people there, um, so she could just be by herself and at peace with everything. Nothing but, the jungle with all of its sounds and the crashing water below, and so she gets a little bit nervous, I guess you can say, about the fact that she's there because she hasn't been there in years.
Yeah, you don't know how you might have just suddenly appeared here, but this place is far from anywhere nearby. Bruce and Victor are nowhere to be seen.
She licks her lips and kind of looks around, and then goes to peer inside the cave to make sure she is truly alone.
As you go to peer inside the cave, looking into the cave, as it gets darker and darker, you notice that down in the darkness you can see faint little twinkling lights. Something unusual, something different.
Knowing she's on her own, she takes a deep breath, looks around, and steps inside of the cave, making very confident steps towards those twinkly lights.
Okay. Buttercup descends into the cave towards the lights. Victor, you find yourself in front of a familiar front door. Opening it up, you see a sight you haven't seen in quite some time. Your old family home. No one in sight.
So Victor is kind of gripped with panic for a moment because he shouldn't be here. He knows he shouldn't be here. And he would never come back here on his own.
Looking around, you note that Buttercup and Bruce are nowhere to be seen.
I'm going to. Victor's going to start heading immediately for the basement.
Okay. So
When
you move
he,
for the basement, which is your workshop. Is that correct?
yes,
Okay. Stepping into your workshop, you see many of your old, unfinished projects sort of laying around. And you remember how nice it was to have all of your tools, all of the things that you needed for your work, all in one place. You left a lot of valuable stuff behind here. Against one of the walls, you see a space that wasn't there before. Instead of the wood that should be where that wall is, there's a thin, soft, rippling, starry flow.
Victor just kind of he looks around for a minute, like just kind of taking in everything around him, but he knows none of this can be here anymore because of how he left everything behind. So he basically he just immediately goes towards the space and walks right through.
Okay. So Victor's feelings are that he does not want to be in this area.
Yeah.
Okay, so you pass through. Bruce, you find yourself in a familiar place.
Yes!
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
You've been here before. This is a beloved's place. But you haven't been here in a long time. A lone figure is present in this place, and you hear like his sharp breaths as he goes about his training.
Master Bao.
As you approach, the old man starts and turns around to face you.
That's so good. Holy shit. Oh,
He says, so you have finally mastered your meditation, Bruce. Your father would be proud.
Hey, Master Bao.
It's good to see you, my friend.
Hey, Master Bao.
Yes.
Well, what the fuck is your real name? I gotta know.
Bruce.
Your name's
Told
Bruce
you
too?
this
No way.
so many times. My
I knew
name
your
is
name
not
was Bruce. Oh, it's so simple.
My name is Kurt, Bruce.
Kurt. Oh, Kurt Bruce? Bruce Kurt?
Kurt Powell.
Kurt
Kurt
Powell.
Powell.
I knew it. Hey, can I ask you one more question?
I see you're the same sharp-spirited rabbit you ever were. Ask away.
I'm not a rabbit, I'm a human, and that's the problem, bud. Do you think a fish lady can love a man like me? Without fins? Without real gills? Apparently we can bang, but I need to know if, like, she'll love me. I confessed to a weird mermaid witch lady that I'm in love with my weird fish girlfriend. Master Bao, what the fuck do I do?
Bruce, let me teach you something I learned about love. When it comes to love, you just gotta love them. And if they don't feel the same way, then that's how it goes.
Wait a
But
minute.
if they do, then it was worth the leap every time.
So, that's tight. So generally speaking, we're in a fantasy world, sort of. How reasonable would it be with what is happening in this style of illusion that we could possibly suss out that it's fake?
How likely is it that this is not real?
No, how likely is it that Bruce would realize it's not real?
You roll me an insight check. Roll me an insight check to discern if this is real or not.
I tried to click on Sylvester Stallone. It's not Toby.
Oh yeah.
I think it's a +3. I'll double check.
By the way,
It
Matt.
says-
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. No. Go on. What's up?
No. It's random. I'll talk about it later.
All right.
Story.
He says,
Story time.
"How fares your quest for vengeance? Has blood yet sated your appetite for revenge?"
What did I gain from that inside check?
Ooh, what'd you get?
19.
19. Bruce, you know the others are nowhere to be seen. You know you are in a very distant physical location. Something is fucky, and you know that this isn't where you were.
Would I have reason to believe that Master Pow is fake?
Well, yes, you would have reason to believe that. Because you know you shouldn't be here. However, this interaction you're having with Master Pow seems very real.
And I'm assuming that
You should ask him about it.
Yeah, no. Well, before that, I'm assuming that everything would line up with what I remember from the past. Correct? Like
You don't know. You don't know. You could assume that, but you don't know.
Okay.
You could ask about that.
Why am I here, Master Pow? What's going on?
Come now. How did you find yourself here, if not through meditation?
There was a door in a tunnel. That's...
Tunnel?
Yeah, I just walked down a tunnel. Not everything's about meditation, dude. I've told you this.
Strange.
Sometimes you actually have to walk to get to places. You don't just meditate yourself there. Come on, pal.
Calm down, Bruce. Calm down.
Oh.
This place is a shared sanctum, a door our minds are both instinctively drawn to and also create. Man is built of mind, body, and soul, and beyond this place lies the origin of consciousness, a vast and dangerous sea. He sort of points towards the door, and you see, at the end of the dojo, a sort of soft, starry, rippling space.
Oh shit, pal, when'd you get that?
And he says, "If you seek to venture ahead, the realm of the astral self lies beyond the door. But be warned, even I do not travel there without the utmost care. The entities that dwell within are not bound by the confines of our world, and it is dangerous."
Do you have anything to eat? I should probably eat before I go, right?
And he says, "Ha ha ha!"
Okay,
And he
fine.
sort of just like spawns like a fucking like triple deluxe turkey sandwich in his hand, and he says, "Eat this."
The Master Pow I know is a vegetarian.
Yes, but you are not, Bruce.
Oh, you got a good point. Okay, cool. And I like scarf immediately.
He says, "Ha ha! I hope your bread baking has improved as much as your appetite."
Yeah, okay, pal, I'm gonna leave. It smells weird in here. It's just sweaty.
Okay.
Just sweaty musk.
Okay.
And then
He says,
oh, sorry, go ahead.
as you head towards the door, he says, "I cannot in good faith guide you to your death, but if you venture ahead, you do so alone."
Well, just
And he
with me,
says, "I cannot lead you to your death. However, if you should return and prove yourself worthy of traversing this place, Only then will I assist you. This is an optional boss. You can come back to this later.
I
Less
can fight,
crucial
pal.
time,
I can
if you like. He is telling you he will not. You can proceed ahead, and he will help you in the path ahead, but only if you guys can take him out and prove yourselves capable of moving on the astral plane,
Okay.
like without getting yourselves killed. You can come back to this.
Can I have my buddies with me?
You travel with companions?
Don't judge me.
You've changed, Bruce. Very well. Feel free to return, but mind yourself should you go on ahead. And you should know this. Your father continues his training. Should you continue to reach this place, perhaps someday your paths may cross yet again.
Interesting. Bruce doesn't know what to think about that. He's skeptical, but he's not gonna. Like, he's processing it. Okay. Well, so he's not gonna let me go through the door? Is that right?
No, he is going to let you go through the door,
Oh.
but he says it's insanely dangerous, and he will not guide you through this place, but he's not stopping you from going through either.
And then what happens if I kill him?
If you can prove yourself good enough to like survive in this place without it just being like an instant death trap for you, he said he will assist you as a guide.
Oh. Okay. And we can come back to him. Okay, cool. Well,
Yes.
I'll go through.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bruce, you step through. Whee! Alright. So
How many times do you get to do that? Just play around with Sylvester Stallone.
okay. So here we go. First one to step through is Buttercup. 1 second. Buttercup. As you step lower and lower into the cave, the rock sort of abruptly stops. And you find yourself in a just open, vast sea of stars. Vague rock structures, natural or otherwise, loom hereabout in various directions. But it's almost as if you're standing on nothing.
Buttercup looks around her. You know, she's still very confident. Her shoulders are squared. And she just looks around for a moment and appreciates how beautiful it is around her. Because this is no place that she's ever been. But she went ahead and stepped through from the den, the cave that she used to sleep in, and raises her chin and is like, this has to be a trial of some sort. I need to continue forward, and continues walking.
Okay. So, as you're taking in the beauty of the space around you, you see this, like, sort of gathering storm in the distance, right? And it's this beautiful, like, kind of multicolored cloud. And you see lightning kind of like sort of twist and cackle throughout it. And as the storm is occurring, a sort of like white thin breeze sort of like is blowing ahead of it, and it sort of swirls and just rushes past you. And as this breeze rushes past you, you suddenly feel like a multitude of memories and emotions sort of like rush to you. And suddenly, you're a shamaness for a proud orc tribe, and you've trained your entire life to attempt to travel to Kuronokos's corner of the ethereal realm. You're anxious. You know that this could kill you if you don't do it properly. But you've trained time and again. You feel a tension in your stomach that sort of turns you. Then suddenly, your paws are pounding through the snow as you chase after a young deer. Your pack mates beside you are dashing, and you feel the thrill of the victory as you become closer and closer to your prey. The deer trips, and you pounce forward, knowing that victory is imminent. And you feel the thrill, the satisfying rush of another night's dinner. Then there's another flash. And you're looking through the eyes of a young, curious owl bear cub.
Oh.
You seem to have found a fruit, and delighted, you pick it up and are about to eat it. You sort of nuzzle against a root as your mother sort of stomps heavily behind you. But doing this, you fail to notice the snake that you have disturbed as it climbs out from the branch. And as you're focused on this apple, the snake lashes out and bites your paw. You shriek in horror, sort of like squealing, and you feel a burning sensation in your paw. Immediately there's a roar as this heavy paw comes down and stomps and stampedes this snake, just pounding it into the ground. And the burning in your paw begins to sort of fade away to a numbness as your tongue sort of thickens. And you feel a sense of panic and terror that subsides. And suddenly you're back. And the breeze is just sort of like flowing past. And as you're looking into the distance, you see that this storm is actually not moving very slowly, but moving very, very quickly towards your direction. It will be upon you very shortly.
Having gone through those flashes and having experienced all those emotions, she takes this like shaky breath to calm herself and slowly lets it out, then turns to face the storm. She knows that sometimes you have to face things like these in order to continue forward. So, while it is heading directly towards her, she turns and walks directly towards the storm.
Buttercup, roll me an insight check.
I got a 15.
If you move into this cloud, you are going to be blasted with memories and raw emotion. And it looks like there might be a lot of it. Are you sure this is what you want to do?
Yes. Buttercup is already preparing herself, especially since she had those flashes of things she knew she has experienced. And it has
Okay.
made her curious, so she is going to square her shoulders, take a deep breath, steady yourself, and walk into the storm.
Okay. Okay. I will say this. If you walk into this storm, I will give you benefits, but I will also give you role-playing quirks that I need you to carry out.
Okay,
You cool with that?
I'm down.
Okay. All right. So Buttercup walks into the storm. Meanwhile, Victor, you step out through your office Now, Victor, you in particular, I need you to roll me an intelligence save at advantage.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
Uh, there we go. 19.
19. Okay. Now, Victor, almost immediately, you hear a voice that speaks in your mind. And
Okay.
you hear it from all. You take in this place, but it happens very rapidly, almost instantaneously. And this voice says, "Ah, this intellect. I know this mind." And in your mind's eye, you feel the presence of Air Guys rapidly approaching. And you get the sense he will be here at any moment. And suddenly, there's a sort of like as these pale invaders sort of like zip in from non-existence and suddenly begin like in front of you. It does not seem like this is a safe place for you to be. And it occurs to you that you could just run back.
Mm. I could go back, but like
Air Guys
Victor
is
doesn't.
coming,
I know.
and he can permanently enslave you
Mm.
if he's close enough to you.
Okay, that's true.
You know this.
Yeah. I go ahead and go back through the door.
Okay. Victor, knowing you can't proceed forward, the only logical path is backwards. And as you proceed back, you sort of step through your front door the way you came. And as you're sort of like walking into your front yard, you suddenly like have a sudden spike in awareness, and you find yourself standing outside the windmill in front of the tunnel. Put these back in the GM layer. Now, Bruce, you step through and you are also going to see a storm in the distance. But what you also see is this impossibly huge, gargantuan creature that's sort of like clawing at this cloud and eating it like spaghetti as it sort of like pulls strands towards its colossal mouth.
Okay. Bruce is. Does it look like it's made of actual material?
It's hard to say. It's so big it fills the horizon.
So this is kind of a dumb question, but what is the water like underneath Bruce's feet? Like his up to his knees?
So you reach down and sort of scoop it, and it seems water-like in substance. It just falls back, but it settles very quickly, and it's completely still.
Can I try casting control water on it and see if it affects it?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So you cast control water on it.
Or not control water. It's a much weaker version, right? You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Shape water.
Shape water.
So you use your cantrip on it, right?
Yes.
And it seems to work. You form ice.
Can I throw it at the thing, try and eat the cloud?
This thing is so insanely far out there.
Oh, okay.
Like you're like miles and miles and miles and miles from this thing.
Okay. And
So
is
it's like universally, like cosmically titanic creature.
holy shit! Elijah's rating us with a party of 6. Thank you so much, Elijah.
Hey, much love to Elijah, my dude.
We hope you're doing well.
Welcome everyone.
Seriously.
Hope your stream's doing well. We're just playing a little Dungeons and Dragons. We got Hunter, Eddie, and Savannah, and of course myself. Thanks for raiding, man. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hey, thanks.
All right. So I guess Bruce Fantana is basically in a situation where he can't like really interact with those two things, but he notices that there's like this predatorial stuff going on. Does it look like there'd be anything to go towards?
Everything around you seems impossibly far away.
Okay. I guess I go back through the door.
Okay. All right. So you just go back through the door.
Yeah, we'll go back through the door.
Now, Bruce and Victor, the two of you find yourselves back here. And Buttercup has not come out.
That's not good.
Victor, you'll never believe what happened to me. It was the craziest thing.
I nearly came face to face with air guys.
Oh, yours is way crazier than mine. I just found out Master Pow's real name. It's Kurt. It's Kurt.
That's
It's Kurt Pow. Bruce? Bruce Kurt Pow? I don't know. He's got my name in there somewhere. Maybe it's hyphenated, like Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I'm not really sure. But where's Buttercup?
I was hoping she was with you.
She's not. What happened with your guys?
He recognized me. He basically, I passed through an area that was a facsimile of my old home, and when I passed through my old workshop, he started to appear and approach very rapidly.
So he recognized you? Did he ask you for an autograph? Because that happens every time somebody recognizes me. No autograph?
No, I imagine enslavement was on the agenda.
Oh, that's way worse. Autographs are pretty annoying too, though. I just want to throw that out there. Should we go look for Buttercup or something?
I'm unsure we will be able to at this point. We seem to have all arrived at different places when we passed through.
Doc, I'm kind of worried about her. I think maybe she's doing mushrooms again. I don't know, she's been acting funny. She's been going off by herself a whole lot. And I think maybe there's a distinct possibility she might be on mushrooms again. What do you think, Doc?
She does enjoy her mind-altering substances.
I know, right?
God damn it.
Totally does.
Sigh.
Okay, well, let's go back and find Buttercup.
Okay. So, Bruce and Victor, you guys go through the door again. And similarly, you each find similar entrances. Bruce, you past Master Pow, he's training, doing his thing. But this time, when you guys come out on the astral plane with the intention of finding Buttercup, the two of you are going to find yourselves having stepped through from your respective places in the middle of some kind of insane lightning storm that's just blasting all around you, right? And this wind is like soaring and shooting past you like you're in the middle of a hurricane. And as it does, these raw, chaotic, powerful emotions and memories surge through you. One moment you're experiencing your wedding, the next moment it's your first kill, the next moment like you've just seen, your best friend die, and you guys are like soaring through these, and very briefly like getting a glimpse back into like what's going on in the actual space around you. And the two of you off in the distance see Buttercup, who is sort of just like standing in place, like staring into the distance as this storm is just surging around her. So this scene probably looks a little bit more like this, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
There she is, Doc.
How do we retrieve her?
You guys, as you both watch, she's just like standing in place.
Yeah.
Can I roll an insight check to see if I think she's on mushrooms?
Rolling, from what you can tell, she's transfixed.
Like, okay, she's just kind of like staring in the distance. Hey,
She's like,
hey, Buttercup.
she's standing very straight up. Her arms are like, her elbows are locked, and her fingers are like elongated and pointed straight down at the ground. And her shoulders are kind of up, and she's kind of like stiffly like shaking back and forth.
Buttercup, just say no. It's not the right time for this. We kind of have important obligations. Look around us, Buttercup. Maybe I did mushrooms and I don't remember.
All right,
Very
Victor
trippy.
and Bruce, I need
Yeah.
both of you to make me. Let's see, what should we call this? I need both of you to make me intelligence saves.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh no.
All right. So Bruce is sort of like stunned in place as he's calling out to Buttercup, and she's not responding, just sort of like rattled in place and like
Yeah.
standing stiffly out in the storm. And Victor, you briefly manage to, like, between blasts of memories and emotion, you
Mhm.
pull yourself out of this like psychic storm, like just in time to like have a brief window of opportunity to progress towards her if you like.
Yes, I'm gonna try and get Buttercup back.
Okay.
I
I need you to
will.
make me 2 more intelligence saves.
Okay.
Okay. As you're just pushing through this like storm
Um,
of mental psychic energy.
for that second roll. Just
Okay.
'cause-
Victor, you make it out to where Buttercup is standing,
Mhm.
and you sort of look at her face, and her eyes are like open wide, right? And she's got this like stunned look on her face, and she's just sort of staring blankly ahead as this like colored wind like blows past her. There's like a
Alright.
loud like
Yeah.
thunder around you guys.
Can I shift into Braxis and jump out of there with carrying her?
Okay.
Like jump and actually use the jump spell
Okay. Sure.
to try and propel myself out of there.
So you shift into Braxis. Put you out here. Boop. And you are going to grab her, and the two of you are going to try and jump and physically move back. I need
Yes.
you to roll me 2 intelligence saves as you're jumping through this.
Oof.
Okay. All right. Wow, this is unexpected. Okay, so you have recovered Buttercup.
Okay.
Give me just a moment. Actually, this is an excellent time for a break.
Let's do
If
that.
you guys are down to take like
Hey,
a
man,
quick like
Fiverr?
5 minutes.
I love breaks. All right.
Yeah.
We'll be back in just a moment.
Thank you guys again for watching.
Yeah, thank you so much, Elijah. Bless your heart. All right, we'll be back in a moment, folks. back.
All right, everyone, welcome back to Norstead Point. We have had a wild session so far. The players have found out that Meridia has isolated herself inside the flooded cave. Y'all have had to move the girls, and you've come to this strange place. Now, Braxis and Bruce, the two of you have just pulled Buttercup from where she was sort of standing wide-eyed in the middle of this chaotic emotion memory storm in this strange place. And the two of you are going to take her out to the front of the lighthouse. Now, Braxis,
Yes.
you are going to pull Bruce out of there with you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And upon doing this, all three of them exit through your house.
Okay, that's okay.
So as you're holding on to Buttercup, and as Bruce is sort of in a daze as well, and you sort of just kind of shake him awake, and Bruce catches himself.
Yeah.
As you guys are going into this place together, you all come tumbling into your workshop.
Okay.
And going out through the front door, you're going to exit out here. Now, Buttercup.
Yes.
Add 2 points to your wisdom, plus 1 to all of your history checks, and I need you to roll me a D100 on the
Okay.
long-term madness table.
Fuck.
Okay. I don't know how to add that stuff to my character sheet here on Roll20.
That's okay. Just roll me a D100.
Got it.
I will fix that.
Long-term madness table. Jesus. That sounds awful.
That's a high number.
Oofda.
Okay.
Homicidal tendencies.
Is that what it is?
No, no, I don't know.
That's perfect.
What?
All right, there you go. Wow, wisdom actually does you pretty well. Okay, what did she roll? What are we
92.
looking at?
That's why I was
We
like,
are looking at the character loses the ability to speak.
oh, okay.
That's kind of cool.
Buttercup,
I can dig it.
is that going to ruin your fun, or do you want to roleplay that?
No, it's not going to ruin my fun. She's just going to
Okay.
be extra quiet now.
Interesting. Okay. Roll me a d10. Okay. Okay. Buttercup, your mind is blown by everything that you just witnessed. And for the time being, you are unable to speak. You are there, you can think, you can communicate in other ways, but for now, you will not speak. As far as vocalizing your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Which is actually interesting, because that means Meridia can talk to you. Okay.
I want the
All
ring
right.
back. Give it back to
Now, Victor,
Yes.
can I get you to roll a D100?
Okay.
92 makes sense, because she just
Mhm.
willingly was standing there.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to do this. So, Victor,
Yeah.
you two are sort of kind of muttering to yourself the same sort of way.
Yeah.
And you're still kind of in this place, coming out of the storm, where you're still processing what memories are yours and which ones aren't. And you're trying to sort of recollect your ego and get back to what your life was and what it wasn't.
Yeah.
And so Bruce, as Victor comes like carrying out Buttercup, you are going to notice Victor sort of like babbling to himself. You can speak, mind you, Victor, but you are
Yeah.
going to like babble
Okay.
about like things that you saw. You just say them out loud.
Yeah.
Does Bruce need a roll?
No. Bruce, you're actually okay. You were just stunned by yours.
Okay.
So you're the only one that came out of that kind of unscathed, but you saw Victor go like into the thick of it and grab her and jump out. And Buttercup like looks stunned, but she's like kind of looking at you guys, but she is kind of in shock.
Guys, are you all right?
You see Victor's still babbling, but he nods at Bruce.
Looking up at Bruce and Victor, she takes another deep breath in and lets it out and just calms herself down and looks at Bruce and nods. But she puts her hand to her mouth and shakes her head as a signal that she can't speak at the moment.
Okay, so she's indicating she's there. She just cannot speak.
Yes.
Guys, it's not every day you get to invite your friends to meet your old sensei. But I know a man who can help us out right now.
Buttercup just tilts her head to the side, looks out at the water around them and back down the hallway. Then back at Bruce and just quirks an eyebrow like, he's serious?
His name's Kurt. He's gonna give us a hand. Bruce starts walking down the tunnel, I guess.
Buttercup
Okay.
scrambles to follow after Bruce and just grabs Victor's arm and like starts tugging him.
Okay. So you're all going to find yourselves in your respective places again.
Oh. Okay.
If I walk and my friends aren't there, I walk out the door and am I back in the tunnel?
If you walk in there and your friends aren't there and you walk back the way you came, yes. You'll just sort of like snap to awareness outside the tunnel.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, so you're gonna wait out here?
Yeah. I'm
Okay.
like when Bruce isn't there, I walk back out as well.
Okay. So you walk back out, and Buttercup, I assume you come back out after enough time.
Yeah. She comes
Okay.
back and just
You
kind
all
of
come back out. Whoop. What say you?
Oh, I mean, Bruce is. I mean, Victor is still just kind of babbling to himself, but he controls himself for a minute and just. Where? How should we follow you?
I don't know. Maybe if we hold hands. We just think about Kurt Powell real hard.
Buttercup for a second walks down to the edge where the water is lapping up and gets some in her hands and like splashes her face and rubs them on the back of her neck, trying to get her just a little more here.
Yeah, Buttercup, you can hear like tons and tons of overlapping voices, just like running through various gibberish memories. It's distracting.
Yeah, she keeps splashing the water for a little bit and she just slowly stops and kind of stares off in the distance as she listens to everything.
Okay, so what do you guys think? Here's your situation. You have found that you're having difficulty going in because you all enter the same way. When Bruce
Yeah.
and Victor entered just now together with the intention of finding Buttercup, you appeared where Buttercup was,
Yes.
but you went through your individual door.
Well, and then when I carried both of them, they came
They,
through my place.
yes.
So we should all have, if Bruce leads the way, then
Let's do it.
yeah, I grab onto Buttercup and Bruce and let Bruce lead us.
Okay. All three of you sort of hold hands and you march down the hallway, and you all end up in your individual doors.
Okay. Bruce goes forwards.
Okay.
I'll be right back, pal.
So Bruce steps through into the astral plane. Oh, all right. Bruce, you're now over here.
I don't think he switched maps.
Oh shit. Yeah,
I switched
you're right.
us.
You right.
Okay.
Okay. So Bruce, you step through your door over here. And these guys are touching. All right. Not Cesar, god damn it. Dr. Victor and Buttercup. Buttercup, you're on your cliff. Victor, you're in your family home. What would you like to do?
I'm going to be focusing on Bruce, and I go through I go back through my basement while focusing on Bruce.
Bruce, as you're standing out here, out of just like the nothingness of space, this like brown wooden sort of door frame just materializes out of the air. And Dr. Victor Mutari steps through.
Doug.
Oh god. Sorry. Fix this.
I'm going to go ahead and approach Bruce.
Okay. As you're walking towards Bruce, you find it kind of difficult to physically approach him. Now that you kind of have a moment to notice. It's as if like as you're walking forward, the ground is slightly sliding you backwards. But you
Okay.
are able to make it to him.
Okay.
Buttercup, what would you like to do?
She takes a moment and pauses at her cliffside again, but then makes her way down the cave while thinking about Bruce and steps through.
And Victor, this time you watch as this sort of stone like archway kind of appears and light begins pouring through as Buttercup comes like climbing down from the rocks. Now, Victor,
Yeah.
I need you to roll me an intelligence save at advantage
Okay.
as you begin to feel a familiar presence rushing towards you.
We need to go.
Let's go find Pow.
Yeah, okay, so you can feel it. Airguys is on his way. And as you guys are like moving towards Bruce's door, you are going to see like the as these like pale invaders start like phasing in.
Buttercup grimaces and just like starts running towards the door.
Okay.
Bruce, before
So-
running in, is going to stand by the door and look back and make sure his friends are okay. He's like, come
Yeah,
on.
like grabbing onto Bruce and Buttercup and making sure we're all together as we go through Bruce's door.
Yeah, Bruce, as your partners are running in, just as like the Pale Invaders are starting to raise their hand, you start to feel like sort of like a migraine as a heavy presence
Oh
starts to like
no.
into the area. And Victor, pulling you in, is going to pull all three of you into the Gymkata dojo. And this time, as the three of you sort of like pile in, like collapsing onto the ground through the door, Master Powell sort of stands up and he says, I don't usually get so many visitors in one day. You guys are all here.
Hey, pal.
Buttercup just like immediately jumps up and pulls her hand crossbow and just aims it at the dude because she doesn't know who he is. And she's on high alert because the Pale Invaders.
He is unconcerned about that hand crossbow that you have pointed at him.
Yeah, she's just like, her eyes are darting around.
Bruce is gonna elbow Victor and he's gonna whisper, "Hey, I'm sorry about the smell. He never really cleans this place. I'm sorry, Doc."
It smells like sweat
And feet.
and dust and feet. Yeah.
And then like Axe body spray, but like used to kind of like cover up the smell, but it just makes it worse.
Oh god,
Yeah.
yeah. It smells like
just
it
smell
smells like
both.
junior high.
Oh, God.
It smells like a junior high football locker room.
It does. That was lesson 1. Get over the smell.
So this guy is going to say, "Who's this here?" as he kind of regards these other two.
Master Bao, these are my friends. That's Buttercup and Dr. Victor Mutare. They're cool. They're not narcs, I promise.
Master Powell regards the two of you with a thick eyebrow and says, "Very well." And sort of noticing Buttercup's like kind of dazed look, he says, what's wrong with that one?"
She at this point she puts her crossbow away, like, and since not being addressed, yeah, she's just dazing and listening to everything.
While Victor is kind of babbling, he mentions he stops himself long enough to talk about the storm. Storm on the other side, basically.
"You keep strange company, Bruce."
Hey, those are my friends, dude. Shut the fuck up. They can hear you. The fuck, pal?
I know they can.
Those are my friends, dude.
He just turns and faces you and he says, "I think you two are strange, but I applaud your bravery."
So he's talking to the both of us, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's talking to the both of you, and he's sort of listening about this like experience, and he says, "I've never ventured within one of those storms, but I always thought it would be a bad idea."
Buttercup snaps to and looks at him, kind of nods her head in agreement with him because, you know, what else can she say, and just kind of shrugs, but once again signals that she can't speak.
Okay. Both of you guys, actually everyone here, roll me a perception check.
13.
14.
Okay, I'm going to say Victor sees this. Victor, it's almost imperceptible, but there is like a faint silver sort of rope that sort of comes from the top of his back. It sort of rises into the air above him and kind of like it fades into nothingness.
Silver rope?
A silver rope, and it seems to like kind of be adjoined at like the base of his neck on his back, and it sort of like dangles into the air and fades away.
um, Victor kind of mentioned something about a thread, and just kind of points over the Pow's head, and it's like, "What is this thread?"
He says, "Ah, very perceptive, young man. This thread is that which binds my astral form to my physical form. Very strange that you do not have the same." And he sort of regards all of you and he says, "Now that I think of it, none of you have this. Bruce, why have you come?"
You said you could help us out, right, pal? You've helped me before. You've raised me since I was a little baby, Bruce. No, you didn't raise me, but you were around. You saw me. I was a little
I
kid.
trained you.
When I was much older. But you hung out with my dad and shit, and like he always said you were cool. You guys would like shotgun beers and shit. So like,
It's true. Mace was my boy. My boy. My bro man.
I need you to do me a solid, man. I need you to help us out one more time.
What is it you ask?
You said if I can beat your ass, you'll help us, right?
He says, "You said I'd be your guide.
Yeah.
I don't know what I can do for you yet, but it's dangerous. Are you trying to do this right now?"
Do we have any other options?
You,
We kind of need a guide, right?
you're asking him for help. What are you asking him for help with? What are you trying to do?
I just figured we could maybe fight the optional boss.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're already here.
Okay. Okay. Hold on.
I'm gonna scale it down real quick. I thought this would be like months from now.
Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting to do it right now. Honestly, you know what? I'm just gonna say this. This boss is not ready for you guys to fight right now. I wasn't expecting.
That's fine.
I wasn't expecting a same session combat. This was supposed to be here for something. If you're asking him for help, he might still help you. You just gotta tell me, like, what is it you're trying to do?
I think I'd lay out the whole thing with the bird and air guys and just tell him the whole story, Meridian, all of it, and just ask him for some advice. Well, what should we do, pal? You're a smart guy, right?
He says, I'm just a man."
Oh, fuck. And Bruce is like shattered, and suddenly he's like disillusioned because he's looked up to Master Pow his whole life. And this is the one time Master Pow was just kind of like, I don't fucking know, man. And Bruce is like, wait, then my dad was just a man too. I'm just a man. We're all men. And he feels like this weird amount of pressure just kind of relieved.
In Victor's babbling, you hear him say, "I'm a little more than just a man."
The abandonment of ego is an important step in your journey.
Buttercup just perks about a brow, but then she's curious about the dude, so she kind of walks up and just curious about him, but keeps a respectful distance.
Okay. You're asking Master Pow for help. You say you need a guide through the astral plane. Where are you trying to go?
To infinity and beyond.
That's a good point.
Like, right now, you guys are investigating this weird thing that you highly suspect Airguys is responsible for that has floated up next to the ice.
I actually asked him about air guys. Is there a way to protect ourselves from him?
Hmm.
I am just a man.
Right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he he's already told Bruce, and he's gonna like inform you guys too. Like he is like a noob compared to what's on the other side of that like portal out there.
Okay.
So he's like, I don't know how you can protect yourself. That being said, all three of you already know that protecting your mind can protect you from these things because
Yeah.
Meridia's countermeasures told you that. You also know that Meridia made one of these rings before. Now, that being said, Master Pal's going to tell you this. He says, I will help you if you can prove yourself worthy, but I'm very, very far away in the actual dojo, and so my capacity to help you is limited to the astral plane.
Fair enough. Hey, do you know what those little cloud things are?
He says, all I know is that the self is built of many things, and I can only assume that what's in those clouds are fragments of those things.
Do you think they're souls?
I don't think they're souls. Souls go to the ephemeral plane where your father is. I think they're feelings, memories, ideas. The astral plane is a strange and dangerous place.
He says that Buttercup starts nodding really fast, and when he mentions the feelings and all of that, and like trying to confirm to him that yes, that's exactly what it is.
Yes, Victor, this rings true for you as well.
Yeah.
So, aside from actually traversing this plane, do you want to ask him to help you in any kind of way? Is there any particular thing? Like, he is an NPC, but he's not your only option either.
We can go talk to Meridia.
Okay.
That's the only other thing I can think of. The bird.
There's also the bird, yeah.
We can't talk to our guys here.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have to, I guess, leave here.
Okay.
Meridia, the bird
So
goes.
all three of you leave through Bruce's exit, and you find yourself back in front of the lighthouse slash tower slash windmill. And you are all going to, I'll put you here on our current world map. Okay. So, moving back to Finnegan's Bucket, or the flooded cave, where would you like to go? Keep in mind, at this point, it's probably getting later on in the day. I'm pretty sure you guys have had a busy day today.
Yeah.
So it's probably
I
starting
vote.
to get dark, if not already
Yeah.
dark.
I vote for going to where the girls are.
Okay.
Oh,
Girls
great.
are pretty close to Meridia. Do you guys want to maybe go ask Meridia if we can get like a couple of mind shielding rings that she's made?
Yeah. That seems like a good idea.
So that if we ever do have to go back, I mean, she might have to craft it, and she might have to roll. I don't know. It might take days.
I might be able to help. I don't know. Let me go take a look real fast.
I can give her bardic inspiration.
Bruce
flexes and Meridia
flex
feels
for the
inspired.
blind girl. Oh my god.
Oh, right. We always forget she's blind.
So much worse because she's blind. Okay.
It's hilarious.
Okay, so you guys go back to the flooded cave. Ashta and Wyola are not here.
Because we put them in that one place.
Yeah.
Right. So, what are you intending to do in here?
In the ice again.
Okay.
Try and get Meridia.
Okay. So you call to her. She approaches the ice. And this time, there is a second silhouette as well. And it's sort of strange to see because it's sliding feet first. But the figure of Claudia sort of slides through the ice, kind of like dazed and hovering in the air. And as she slides through your way, kind of undisturbed in the air, you see her scarring looks greatly alleviated. And in fact, she seems to be resting peacefully. Meridia says nothing from the other side of the ice.
Buttercup goes and just kind of leans against the ice, sitting down, and she waves at Meridia, and then promptly stares off into space again.
Meridia's head tilts towards yours in acknowledgement. But Meridia says nothing.
Hey, Meridia. So we just went to the Astral plane, and Ergast was there. It was weird. He didn't say hi or anything. Didn't ask for an autograph either. So I guess that's a good thing, at least. Doc thinks maybe he was going to enslave us. Is there any way you could make a couple of rings for us?
The silhouette crosses its arms. Roll me a persuasion check.
Can I assist with that?
If you say or do something, that will assist with it.
I'll convey the things that I saw in the astral plane to her, like the three eyes and all of that he was actively seeking me out.
Okay, so you're like completely informing her of everything that you witnessed in there?
I'm informed, at least of air guys, yeah.
Okay, I will say that yes.
Oof. Hey.
16. Okay, 16's pretty good.
Eddie, did you roll too?
Oh, I
yes,
forgot.
whenever I have you guys help for advantage, the way I give you guys advantage is I have you each roll once.
Oh, fair enough.
Nice.
So we're fucked.
No, you up, right?
Not necessarily. 16's pretty good. So this figure crosses its arms, and it sort of tilts its head, and it kind of rolls its like wrist as if to say like, "What are you proposing?"
If we have if we have the ability to shield ourselves from enslavement, we may be able to barter.
She nods, and then she points to herself, and then rolls her wrist as if to say, "Okay, so what is it?"
Does she have her arms back?
Yeah.
Yes, she does have her arms back.
We put her arms back.
Yeah. Okay. I was drunk for that.
No worries.
So,
Excuse me.
Meridia, you kind of need our help, right? It's not going to help you out very much if we're completely enslaved by Airgeist, right?
She nods.
Do you think the bird opened up that portal or Airgeist?
She like traces the shape of the fish on the ice.
Ashta?
Okay. Let's put this out there. Let's put this situation.
Okay.
Let's put this situation into perspective. She has told you that she is behind this ice for her own self-preservation. She has made a gesture of not harming both Ashta and Wyola, and she has now returned Claudia to you healthier than ever. Not necessarily than ever, but like vastly recovered from her previous state. And so you're asking her, like, hey, here's what we just went through. We think like this place is fucky, and we think that this is how we could protect ourselves based on your countermeasures. Can you make us more rings? And she nodded and said, okay, so what are you offering?
Right. We won't kill you. Not that we're gonna kill you, but like, why don't you come out here and we talk? I tell you what, Doc,
that's
rip off my
that's
arms.
not gonna convince her.
Doc, take my
Roll
arms
me a
off.
persuasion. Roll me persuasion at disadvantage. Because you're like, hey, we're not gonna kill you if you come out here. Come out here.
11.
Yeah, so she's not gonna come out here. She doesn't feel safe. And you guys are going to intuit that she does not feel safe. When you're like, hey, come out here, we won't kill you.
So I kind of want to ask you a not yes or no question, Meridia. What would you do if I gave you the orb? If we gave you the orb, what would you do with it?
That catches Buttercup's attention, and she just leans her head back and sighs.
Let me see where are you guys standing in relation to this ice?
I can back up. If she makes like a push gesture or something.
Yeah. She's motioning for you guys to back away from the ice.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Buttercup was leaning against it, so she just kind of like butt scoots forward.
Okay. Assuming that you provide her with a healthy distance, she is going to come out on very high alert and kind of slide through this ice. If you should return the pearl to me, I am considering a partial rejuvenation of my people. It may provide resources, but it is also unsafe. I am undecided. Buttercup, do you have your ring on?
No, because
You guys
Maria
gave her
has
the ring, but she didn't need it. Or you were going to, and then I was like, hey, she already told you she didn't need it. And I don't remember what happened after that.
Okay, if she didn't need it, then of course Buttercup took it back. So she takes the ring off and shows it to Meridia, and it signals again that she can't talk.
She pauses as she sort of like tilts her head in the direction of the ring. She can't see it, but you see her like acknowledge that Buttercup is holding something out, and she's surprised by this thing that Buttercup is holding. And she says, I could perhaps make more. It will take some time. I have been a gracious hostage to you. I have returned this human unharmed for the most part. You have offered me a shaky alliance, but you have been cruel. I will not be at your mercy, but we may still yet be allies. What do you say to this?
Does Victor have like a knife or something?
Yeah.
Doc, can I see your knife real quick? Hey, Meridia, don't worry. It's not for you.
Victor pulls it out and hands it to Bruce. Handle first.
She like half recedes, but she's not completely in the ice. But she's playing it safe.
Bruce stabs himself in the forearm and just rips into it And then
Ow.
hands the knife back to Victor, and he says, "We kind of deserve that. We weren't very nice to you, but after the things we've gone through, I think you can probably understand why we'd be on high alert too. And it doesn't make up for the treatment we gave you, but I felt some pain, and I just feel like maybe I made things right a little bit. I don't know."
Okay. Okay. Take an inspiration back and roll me performance. See how dramatic this is.
13.
13. She regards you coldly. It's hard to get much because she shows very, very little emotion.
And she also like can't really see what you did. I'm not saying that like in
Every
I'm not saying that,
It's
but I'm
great.
just like
I stabbed
It's
myself.
canon.
I promise.
I didn't say it in character.
Damn it.
Well, considering the fact that she has lost her sight, guaranteed her other senses have become heightened, including her sense of smell.
Maybe you should smell the blood.
Okay. I'm going to say that she is aware that you stabbed yourself. Can you roll me a Constitution save as well?
Sure.
I just want to see like how much you're feeling this.
It's a +2.
Oh yeah, bro. Get it. Fucking get it, bro.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Okay. All right. Pretty good. Go ahead and just take like 4 damage.
I'll do it.
And you're good after that.
Does she convey
So-
how long it'll take to make those rings?
She says, I can perhaps do this, but I want things in return. I want my safety. Guaranteed, I have not harmed the others, nor do I wish to.
Buttercup nods her head at that. That's easy to agree to.
And also, I want that orb. I can do great things with this pearl.
Buttercup looks
Including
between.
possibly bringing back some of my own people.
Can I roll an insight check on that?
Yep. Roll an insight check on that.
$19.
19. Okay. Buttercup, did you roll an insight as well?
Nope, I will.
That's okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay. So everyone
Sorry, we didn't want to go
sees
for.
so Bruce in particular learns the answer to his question. All of you in particular notice this.
Okay.
Even though she is like in a highly tense situation, she seems very calm and she seems very cold.
Yeah.
You don't see any like emotion reflected in her behavior or body language. Now, Bruce, what were you asking me in particular?
Time frame on the rings?
Time frame on the rings.
Yeah, before the insight check. If the insight check is what you're referring to,
Yeah, what was the insight check? You were...
about her bringing back her people.
Oh, yes. Yes, she can do... Her magic is greatly amplified, and she can potentially bring back some of her people, which she may do, but she's not sure if that's the safest move yet. Now, about the time frame. She says, I do not know. I have not made this ring, except for once. and the memory of doing so was cleansed from my mind. It will take time to reverse engineer such an artifact, but it is possible.
How do we know that you didn't just try to earn our trust to double cross us? I'm sure somebody as wise as you would probably be thinking the same thing about us, right?
You don't. I could double cross you, but it does not serve me. Say I kill you. What does this do?
Yeah, but you know a lot of pressure points. You know things we care about, our goals.
Let me tell you this. This is what I want. I want my people back. I have worked a lifetime, many lifetimes, to see this. You have something I need. I wish, or at the very least, for a reluctant alliance.
Doesn't have to be that
But
reluctant, you know.
I want that orb. It is useless to you, and it is useless to the Timeless Daughters. They are untrained in its use.
Why do you want to bring your people back so bad?
Because I am the last. There may be other cultures, but our kind are nomadic. We rarely see one another.
You mean Timeless Daughters?
No, merfolk.
Okay.
Yeah, Alumea being founded was a big deal. But then it got fucked up.
Okay. Well, she's down to craft some rings.
But she's asking if she crafts these rings, she wants the pearl.
Okay.
And she's going to tell you that it will speed up the crafting process as well.
We're gonna go talk about it because it's kind of a big decision. And Buttercup is definitely our leader, so I gotta run it past her first. She'll hit me with like a frying pan or something. I just know it. So
Of course.
we're gonna go talk about it real quick and do some stretching probably. And then we'll come back and tell you what we think.
Indeed. Return when you have formed a decision. She's going to slide back into the ice. Okay.
I suggest to the party we should go outside and talk about it.
Yeah.
Buttercup follows.
You guys don't want to talk about it right outside her door again?
Oh.
Okay, guys. Okay. Okay. And wouldn't you know it, that old campfire's still kind of hanging out over here.
Marcus's campfire?
Yeah, the one where you guys first encountered Marcus up here.
Yeah.
When we go outside, does it look like from... I mean, we're looking through the ice, I guess, but does it appear that the area of effect has grown?
Roll me an investigation check at advantage.
Yeah, I was just like looking at that. Oh.
So 18.
It's kind of hard to say, but it looks like it might be. It's enough to make you uneasy, and you make a mental note to yourself to keep an eye on it.
Fuck.
Right.
Okay, well that's a problem, guys. I think it might be getting bigger. We've got this witch lady who says she'll help us, but I don't fully trust her. I think maybe she's trying to play us. But she's kind of the only person who can use that orb. What do y'all think? We go talk to the bird.
The bird wants the orb.
Everyone wants the orb.
Yeah. So many people want this freaking orb.
Buttercup
Okay.
really doesn't know necessarily what to do, but having the rings would definitely be an extra layer of protection from them, since it seems like Air Guys is looking for, people to enslave.
Yeah, but if she wanted to kill us and we gave her that orb, she'd kill us right then. But I mean, I'm also down
But
to
she
do
hasn't
it.
hurt the girls, and she kind of helped Claudia a little bit.
That's true.
Yeah, I think she's probably about our best bet. I think if we're not going to harm her, she has to give us assurances too.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. So you guys are wanting to go meet with the Great Avian.
It's a possibility. I'd be down.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not necessarily saying that's what we should do, but I'm saying it's an option. We can go ask him about the astral plane and ask him about Air Guys.
Yeah. Victor, you had stated that there was a thing you wanted to do regarding the bird. You had mentioned it earlier in the
don't-
session. Are you wanting to take the time to do that or no?
I don't have a spell, so I could try and craft it with stone carving tools. But
Okay.
yeah, shape stone is a fourth level spell, so I don't get it until much later.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Un-
could. You could try that.
uh, you know what? I'm gonna take some time with some stone carver's tools.
All right. Make me a roll. We'll see how finely you can do this.
Uh,
Anybody
what?
else want to do anything in particular with their evening? Work on any projects? Do any
No,
particular things?
Buttercup just wants to go to sleep.
Um,
Bruce, you got any personal projects?
oh man, I think Bruce is gonna make another pair of sunglasses.
Okay. Go ahead and make me a tinker check.
How much? What stat are we using for
Pretty
stone
low
carvers?
DC. Go ahead and use. Ooh, I'm pretty tempted to say dexterity for this.
Okay.
Yeah,
What would I be using?
because you're carving something. You're tinkerer's tool, so use intelligence for that one.
That's a 0. All right.
Intelligence
That's
plus
a crit.
proficiency.
I mean, the coolest sunglasses
Hey,
ever.
you make your finest pair to date, Bruce. Wow, holy shit. Okay. Wow, god damn. Okay. That's with wow, that's with dex and proficiency. Holy shit. Okay. Wait, how do you have 8? How do you have 8?
uh, the blah, 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 double proficiency on toolkit.
Oh, you have double proficiency. God. Wait, are you proficient in stonecarver tools from your
Hmm,
class?
Here.
Because I
Yeah,
think
I
it
get.
doubles your proficiency for tools that you become proficient in from the class, right?
Yeah.
Or is it just all toolkits? What's it say?
I mean, I have. It does say in a here, blah 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 blah. Where the hell? Right tool? No, tool expertise for any check that uses your proficiency with a tool.
Wow. Okay. And you're proficient in stone carvers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
Wow.
artisan's tool.
Holy shit. 25, dude. Okay. You are able to make an uncanny likeness of Meridia from stone. And you're able to do it pretty quickly. Okay. Wow. All right. Yeah. Doesn't take that long. She's pretty thin. You just sort
Nice.
of like chisel it out. It is
I.
heavy as fuck.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So Bruce has the finest sunglasses he's made, and you have an uncanny likeness of Stone Meridia.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right, guys. So everyone crashes for the night. You wake up the next morning, and y'all want to go to the Great Avian.
Yeah, but before we do, Bruce is gonna go into Meridia's cave by himself, and maybe have a really really quick scene with her.
Okay. Bruce, you enter the flooded cave, and this time it's just you.
I'm gonna go up to the door and knock on it.
Knock on the ice.
Yeah.
She appears on the other side.
Bruce is gonna say, "Hey Meridia, I've got a present for you."
She's listening.
Bruce is gonna pull out not the best sunglasses in the world, but the second best sunglasses that he's ever made. And he's gonna hold them out. Say,
Given to the blind lady. Awesome.
he's gonna say, "I know you can't see these. This is gonna sound kind of fucked up, but just listen, just bear with me. I made you sunglasses. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Look, I don't know what we're gonna do with that orb. We haven't decided yet, but if we do give it to you, I want the first thing that you do with it to be give yourself eyesight one more time. And then you can wear these sunglasses that Bruce Fantana made for you." And he just kind of like sets him by the ice, and then he walks away.
Bruce, as you're sort of stepping away, you faintly hear, like back by the ice, as this like hard claw, like sort of like scrapes at the stone, kind of blindly about, before you hear like the faint rattle of her like finding the sunglasses, and it slides into the ice.
And Bruce thinks to himself, "Man, I really should have told her to like fix her tail, because I guess I'm kind of into that now. Holy shit, I didn't think that would be my thing, but like, I don't know, I guess I kind of like tails now. It doesn't matter. I've got Ashta. She has a great tail. But, you know."
Tails, bro.
And then I'm going to quit wasting our time, and he's going to walk out.
All right. So, everyone is going to sort of hike their way up the mountain. Yes?
Yeah, I'm going to basically have the statue levitated and drag it along as it, just so it's lightweight.
Okay. All right. Okay, let me move you guys over. So you make your way up the mountain, up to the crystal tree, where you find the great avian sitting there expectantly and looking pleased. And he says, or rather she says, "Ah, you've done well. I see you've been busy. What's this you brought me? This ugly little gift?"
Meridia,
Yeah.
cast in stone.
Indeed. He sort of, or she, God, I keep saying he. She sort of like looks down and peers at it. Can you guys roll me a deception check at advantage?
Yes.
Ooh, you should have buffed up before you did this.
Is it too late to
I'm
flex?
gonna roll an insight check. I'll let you flex right now. You wanna help him out?
Do I have a bardic inspiration. Right? Maybe not.
Okay.
Is it a D6?
I think so. I think you're level 1 bard right now.
Okay, that's an extra 1.
16.
You said I have advantage,
And,
right?
Okay. No, just Victor. Victor had advantage. Okay. Victor, it did take all of that,
Yeah.
but as the great avian peers down and it sort of looks the statue up and down, she says, "Ah, so it's as you say. Awful little wretched thing, this.
What
I
are you gonna?
thank you for your service.
Yeah, what are you gonna give us for it, bird?
Is
Hmm.
our deal accomplished?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, your deal was to eliminate all the merfolk. And I know well you're hiding two of them.
Yeah, but they don't matter. This one does.
Then I'm afraid you're not free.
Then
I
I'm.
do appreciate your good work.
Okay, guys, let's go. We're taking Meridia with us.
I, wait. Leave that here.
What are you?
Why should we?
What are you gonna give us?
Hmm. How about this? Perhaps we could kill two birds with one stone, as they say. I have a little something I'd like you to bring to our friends down below. And in return, perhaps I can do something about that pesky spell she's got set up. How does that sound?
You want us to take it to Alamea?
I want you to bring a few stones from the rocks at your feet. And I want you to bring them down to that pale temple where all those wretched creatures writhe about in the dark. I'll give you a means to bring your friends back. And in return, I want you to deposit some of these stones about that place.
Wait, so
At this, three little pebbles at your feet sort of like glow with like an arcane light and then fade again. And you guys can see runes kind of burned into these three little pebbles. They're hardly bigger than like a $50 coin. Those there.
Victor's gonna go ahead and grab at least one of the stones, so he has one.
what does it do, bird?
If you use one of the stones, it'll bring you and everyone within 30 feet of you back to a designation of your choosing. I'm afraid I can't do much about your ice, but I can deposit you and all your folks uh, outside on the cliff somewhere. Perhaps that would please you.
So wait, we're like, what are you gonna give us for this statue? And then you're like, take these rocks somewhere. No, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do for this fucking statue, bird?
If you give me this statue, I'll give you a way to bring all of your little friends back to the surface.
He plans to bring the rest of the town to
Oh,
their
right.
yeah.
I gotcha.
And the bird sort of like lowers its head and says, unless, of course, that's unsatisfactory. Is it not worth it to you? Perhaps you'd like to barter for something else.
Maybe we'll just hang out with Eric guys and help him out for a little bit.
Perhaps so. See how far that gets you. I'll be here when you change your mind. And you will because you have no options.
Buttercup just looks between the bird and Bruce while all of this is going on, and just kind
Swings
goes back to what.
Meridia over the chasm,
Yeah.
and just kind of and just kind of holds her there for a moment. and he just kind of he's thinking about just dropping her over the edge.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, you guys are hardballing the bird who's offering to give you a means to rescue everybody in exchange for this rock, which is made to look like Meridia.
We have a tendency to do these things.
Okay. This bird is telling you, like,
Yeah, the base. He's trying to
like,
like teleport.
you can leave that rock here and have a way to rescue everybody, or you could
Yeah,
just not have a way to rescue everybody and take that rock with you. But he doesn't think you have any options. Or she, god damn it, she doesn't think you have any options.
How do we know that if we take these things down there, it doesn't kill all the fish people?
Oh, it will. That's why you're supposed to only use one. The others you leave there. I'll take care of the rest.
Bruce is gonna pick up the rock, kind of look at it for a second, run his hand over it, and he's gonna throw it at the bird as hard as he can.
The rock sort of hovers in place and then like drops into the chasm below. And the great avian says, "Oh, there goes one. I suppose you have two now."
Buttercup just, goes around and picks up some of the crystal leaves that had fallen down and just kind of shoves them in her pocket because she thinks they're pretty. She can't talk.
Okay. Okay.
Victor's gonna go ahead and bring the statue back onto the ledge and gather up the other stone and like let go of the levitation spell.
Okay. That's
I'm gonna
fine.
go
And the
ahead and move
statue
it.
just like unceremoniously like falls face first on the ground.
Yeah. And then as I would say, we have what we need. We know what we need to do. Let's go.
Okay. So y'all take two avian stones with you.
Yeah, and then as Bruce starts to walk away, he kind of like stops and looks at the bird, and then starts walking back.
Okay. You see its red yellow eye just sort of like gazing back at you. It appreciates your work. All right. So with that, we just about have a full session.
That's pretty
It's
good.
1:30 in the morning. You guys are leaving the Great Avian. What are you intending to do next?
Make more sunglasses. Obviously. I would say that he just admitted that if we take those rocks down there, the fish people will die, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we can't. I feel uncomfortable bringing those rocks around the girls in Maria.
Yeah.
Because clearly there's going to be some sort of reaction.
We could take it to that realm wherever Airgeist was and throw it at him.
Yeah, we can talk to Air Guys once. I guess we could just wait until we get our fucking rings, but the only way we can get the rings is to give the evil witch lady a orb full of souls. Make her invincible to the point where we probably can't stop her. We could fight Master Pow. No. In 2 months.
Yeah, I'll have Master Pal ready for you guys next time. I should have anticipated that.
That's all good. Yeah, what do you guys think? I don't know, man.
I mean,
we have to trust somebody or deceive them all is how it's gonna work.
Yeah. I want to. I want an engineer confrontation between Air Guys and the bird. I want to make them fight so bad.
You guys have found a way to safely communicate with Air Guys once before, but it took a medium. You know someone who might know a thing or two about that.
Ooh. Are you talking about Old Man Marcus?
You know it. Old man Marcus is your connect.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, yeah, maybe she could talk to him. She said his voice was like still there. I'd be down.
It was faint. It was faint, but it was still there.
How would we? I mean, I guess we have time to think about it, but I guess maybe the first scene could be us asking Meridia to connect us with air guys.
Yeah. Y'all have time to think of like what y'all want to do next session.
Yeah.
But the directions that you have right now is that you could ask Meridia about air guys and like kind of form a shaky alliance with her. And you also have the option of going back to the Anne, going to the temple below, and doing the thing the Great Avian is asking you to do.
Yeah.
And that's also going to be a very dangerous thing. So lots of different options.
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks very much, everybody. Thank you, everyone who's joined us this far into the session. It's been a jolly good time.
I have had a blast.
That was a great session, dude.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
dude. Thank you, guys. I'm glad y'all had a good time.
Yeah, it was
Now, as you know, a quirk of Buttercup, she's going to be carrying around a journal and writing in it constantly about the things that she is seeing and hearing, which I think is awesome.
Yeah, you're seeing it, hearing a lot. Just echoing in your mind, which is slowly like coming back together again.
Yeah, it's kind of like scrambled eggs right now.
Yeah, lots of information though. You gained a lot from it. Okay. Well, awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Are we still live?
We're still live. We don't have.
Hey! Catch us next time. Catch us next time. Next Saturday.
We won't be doing it next Saturday. It's Halloween. But we will.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
That's
we'll
true.
catch you guys in 2 weeks. We're also going to make our Discord live for everyone. So we'll have a link on the website for that. And yeah, check out Eddie tomorrow in the afternoon running some Apex.
Thanks, everybody.
What were you saying, Eddie?
I was like, got a couple wins tonight after I stopped playing on stream.
Oh yeah, that's usually how it goes. All right,
Yeah.
guys, y'all have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.